Hi everybody, this is Tim from Boatshed Yacht Brokers, and I thought I'd treat you today to a virtual reality tour around this 1990 Southerly 115 to give you an idea of its layout, what she represents, what she comes fitted with, and what she's like as a boat. She is quite special. I really like her. So I thought I'd start in the cockpit just with a really quick look around. And as you can see, we have a centre cockpit here. We've got a lovely, great companionway to the accommodation down below. Very nice doors, so they clip back out of the way. And we've also got a washboard in here, which fills in the bottom section there. So all feeling like it's really heavy wood, proper big metal fittings. Everything feels really solid, really well made. That's just what I like in a yacht. So well done, Southerly. Really impressed. We're teak lined around the cockpit, outside of the cockpit, and over the coach roofs as well. I'd say that this is of a certain age. It looks like it's been cleaned plenty of times, but it actually looks like it's in quite good nick. I think there's a few seasons left in it yet. On the port side of the cockpit, we've got two binnacles there, so that's where you're going to be putting your sunglasses, your iPads, your iPhones, etc, or maybe the non-working ends of your running rigging perhaps. Underneath my feet we've got grating as well, which is going to keep my feet out of the water if there is any here, but looks in reasonable condition too. And generally around here I'm feeling quite safe. We've got nice high coaming here, especially here, and we've got lots of protection forwards as well, and we can see really well through the front windows as well, which is another addition to this boat. So I'm feeling really cosseted and really in a nice protective position in this boat, even though I'm at the helm and I'm outside. But let's have a quick look on the starboard side. As you can see, just as I unlatch the cockpit locker, we have the manual bilge pump there, if you need it. Great big locker lid up here, gives us access to a really nice deep locker, and in here we've got obviously the bottom of the locker, we've got a shelf so we can fit more on, we've got the Webasto warm air heating, we've got the multi-case circuit breakers for the electrical incomer, etc. Lots and lots of space down there for all of your bits and pieces, so fenders, ropes, etc, but I would be careful where I put them because there are electrics down there as well. But really lovely, very useful space indeed. So let's close the lid on that. Carrying on around the cockpit are the features. We have 44 Lumars, or Lumar 44s, port and starboard, self-tailing. So for those who are short-handed sailing, or maybe even single-handed sailing on a boat of this size, you've got that, what is in effect an extra pair of hands pulling the rope for you whilst you grind those winches in. And to match that, we've got the lines run coming aft over the coach roof. Just above the camera here, there you may not be able to see it, we've got a halyard winch there with brakes, and we've got a self-tailing halyard winch on this side, which is really lovely again with the associated brakes. So most rope work, if not all, should be able to be done from within the cockpit, which I really like. There's nothing worse than going up forwards, especially if you're on your own, or if there's just two of you, and you're feeling a little bit unsafe. So really good. Now the wheel steering is connected to the steering down below with rod gearing, bevel gearboxes, and big bits of metal. So it's proper engineering. There's no hydraulics. There are no wires, and it actually feels pretty good. It certainly feels like the movement feels good there, and it doesn't feel solid, etc. But you do need to make sure that you maintain it properly. Regular greasing, regular inspections are the name of the game, and also making sure there's nothing that can obstruct or wrap around that rod gearing to prevent it turning. Could be really disastrous for you. We have a compass for the helm here. We've got a throttle here right by the helm, so that's really useful for him, no bending down, or her. We've got a cup holder here, that needs screwing down I think, and we've also got a small cockpit table down below which will sit here just nicely. To the aft of the cockpit here we've got engine instrumentation and start, we've got autopilot here, and we've got the keel up and down switch here. So from here you can raise and lower the keel to your heart's content. You can also do it down below, which I'll show you later on in the tour. Really handy. So yes, this boat has a raising keel, which means that you can reduce her draft, and that means you could potentially take her places where other boats with a deeper draft or non-raising keels can't go. So you'll be waving goodbye to them as they stop as the water gets shallower, and you can carry on. Just make sure you know what the bottom of the water or the bottom of the sea is like. It needs to be the right kind of sea bottom, so mud, sand, silt, possibly shingle, but you do need to be careful. No, this boat is protected by lovely great big grounding plates under the bottom to protect the bottom when you are sitting on the bottom. But yeah, do be careful, and do make sure you have the right training and experience before you experience that. But back to the boat. We've got a really lovely seat there for the helm there, so he's going to be comfortable at all levels of heel, I think. Really nice big coach roof sunbathing area, so sunbeds, deck chairs, etc., whatever you like. A small deck after that from where you can do your ropes, and as you can see, we've got a nice wind generator there topping the batteries up, and various bits of life-saving equipment just tailored to this boat around the guardrails there. But feeling like a nice place to be, and I think in a certain big seaway, this is the kind of boat I'd be happy to be on, rather than a completely exposed cockpit. But that's me. So anyway, let's pick you up, and I will take you down below, and I'll place you right in the middle of the compartment first. So let me jiggle you about a bit and place you right there. Hopefully you're not going to fall off, and hopefully you won't wobble around too much. But take a look around. What do you think? She's lovely. So she smells great, but generally speaking, she's laid out really nicely. Lots of windows, lots of soft furnishings, very ergonomic design, and that's why these boats are popular, because they are built in that way, and they're built very well, or I think they are. Excuse me. As you come down the cockpit way, you can see nice and wide. We have handles here, we have a handle there, we've got deep fiddles everywhere, nice and strong. So as you're making your way around this boat, you're going to feel safe in a seaway. So that's tip number one, or good thing number one. We've got 4 steps down, 1, 2, 3, 4. Behind the steps we've got the engine start stop, we've got the main isolator, we've got the heater controls, battery charger, etc., or battery charger controls, and we've also got a hatch here which opens beneath the steps to give you access to the forward end of the engine, so you can check that, which is great. We've got several holes cut into the deck here as well, so we've got access to large areas of the build, which is great. And the camera itself at the moment, or you at home, are sitting on the keel casing. If you look down, you may be able to see we've got quite a large protruding GRP casing into the galley stroke the helming area. Some may say it gets in the way and it's a bit kind of sticks out a little bit. It does, but it's providing somewhere for the keel to lift up into, so it's giving you all those advantages of the lifting keel of the yacht. What else is it doing? It's giving you an end to the galley, so if you're heeling over to starboard suddenly, all the plates and cups and pans aren't going to go flying off to the starboard. And as you're coming through here, it's giving me something to lean on and have a chat. It's also giving me something to brace onto if I need to, if I'm talking to the helm, or if I just want to stand here and talk to somebody down there. And it's not really protruding into the area other than slightly upwards. The other benefit of it, of course, is that while the keel's going up and down, we have a window here which you probably can't see, and we have a little hatchway here, so we can see the movement. We can verify physically that is happening, especially if we're operating it from where the helm's sitting there. He can raise and lower it and watch it happening, which is absolutely fantastic. So I'll just talk through the galley. So here we are, it's L-shaped, very nice, really handy because we can pass cups of tea, cup of soups up there, he can pass the empties back down, etc. So really nice ergonomic design as well. And down here, the old cool box type thing that was here has been sealed down, and the owners have fitted a proper fridge, which I think is a really nice addition. Nice fridge, nice freezer compartment, much more useful than what they used to be there before. We have a double sink. This what looks like a breadboard, but is in fact access. Well, it can be a breadboard, but it's a lid for access down into a dry store there. Lots and lots of room down here for your tins and your dry goods. We've got binnacles here, which are going to be for your washing liquid, your marigolds, etc., etc., or anything you want to place there. At the moment, there are keys in there. And then just working our way around, we've got cupboards. Some have got cup holders in, etc. Drawers here. These are tailor-made, I think, and so we've got provision for saucers, plates, dishes, that kind of thing, whatever you might like. Cutlery drawer here, nice big cupboard here, and a couple more drawers, etc. Feels like a really nice place to cook from. The cooker itself is gimbaled, so we can use it to see, and if we want to convert this nice bit of workspace here into the cooking space, hey presto, there we are, two nice burners, and we've obviously got the cooker and the grill underneath. And if you want to convert it back to a working space, there we go, no problem at all. And while we are working here, it's really lovely because we can see out of the windows. You've got a great view. So while I'm slaving away at the cooker or doing my washing up, I've got something to just distract myself and enjoy the views around me. In this case, lots of other beautiful boats. So yeah, but above all, lots of space. So people can pass by me to go to the aft cabin. People can pass by me to go to the heads, the helming area or the forward accommodation without obstructing me, without any danger of pans hitting people, all that kind of stuff. So really, really useful. Right, let's carry on. I'm not going to move the camera just yet. I won't go into the heads, but I'll show you the heads. Again, very good design. Anybody up there who's cold and wet and needs to go and do what they need to do, straight down the ladder, straight in there. They don't have to go forwards, they don't have to brush past any upholstery. In there, do their business and then back out of the door, no problem at all. And in that vein, on the right hand side as we come down, we've got the looks like a binocular stowage, a hand bearing compass stowage, but we've got what looks like a hanging locker or wet locker for all your wet foulies, oilies, etc. So they don't need to come into the accommodation, they can stay right there, drip dry, and keep all of the sailing kind of moisture in this area, which is a great idea. The head itself is a step down into there, it's about a foot down into there, so you've got a huge amount of headroom in there. You've got a manual head, you've got a sink, you've got a great big window in there, and various storages, cupboards and shelves, etc. So a really, really nice space, really useful, and yeah, really handy for that time at sea. So I'll just hop past the keel case and I'll come round here to the helm position. Now, I don't know if anybody of you have helmed from a position like this, but it's feeling, although I'm down here and not up there anymore, I'm still feeling in command of this boat. I can see the stem, I can see the furling foresail, I can see out of the back, but quite obstructed by this area here and over on the port side there. But generally speaking, I've got a good all-round view, or an excellent all-round view for a yacht if I'm steering down below. I've got the steering wheel, which, as I mentioned, is linked mechanically to the wheel up in the cockpit there, so you know, somebody can take over up there before I let go down here, or I can take over down here before somebody lets go up there if needed. Nice wheel, nice size. I've got a nice foot rest here, and I've got this to lean on, I've got this to lean on or hold on to, and I'm feeling like I could sit here for a good long time steering this boat and just keeping watch, which is really important. What have I got around me? Well, I've got the engine control here, so I can go faster or slower there, nice and easy. I've got the compass, I've got the autopilot, I have my chart plotter there, radar here, and here we've got all our electrics, we've got the VHF, we've got a stereo, etc. So really good position to command from. I think I can command to the people down there, I can command to the people in the galley, I can command to the cockpit. I've got good access to the whole boat here. Command's not the right word, but it does feel like I can control the boat very easily from here. And just to finish off, on my right hand side here, we've got a small nav table for those people that still use them, which I recommend. Always have a paper backup, and we've got storage underneath for your pens and pencils, dividers and paper charts, etc. All very, very nice. Cupboards underneath here, a cupboard underneath here. What more could you ask for a helm position? Really good. Right then, let's step down from there. There are lots of steps on this boat, and I'll pick the camera up, here we go, and I'll place you right in the middle of the saloon area. So you're now sitting and you're waiting for your cups of tea or your cordon bleu dinner, etc. from the galley. But joking aside, really lovely area. Again, head height's fantastic, probably about 6 feet there. You've got a really nice sofa or berth on this side. We've got storage behind, we can get to the chain plates that come through here. Nice fiddled shelf here, it feels so solid and strong. Again, fiddled shelf here. I really like the way they've detailed you know, parts of this boat to sort of make various areas useful, but also nice and comfortable and easy on the eye as well. Storage underneath as well. We've got locker lids cut into the GLP or the moulding underneath, really rather useful. On the port side, again, we've got storage behind, we've got the same shelving. Behind here we've got an adjustable bookshelf here, so that's a really nice affair. On the other side we've got somewhere for our wine bottles and wine glasses, which is lovely. We've got the tank underneath this berth here, but otherwise around those seats there we've got storage, and the table does drop down, and we do have an infill which makes this into a nice double bed area for when you've got those all important guests around for drinkies and overnight stays. We've got loads of light coming down from the sort of deck saloon stroke galley stroke helming area, but we've also got the portholes here as well, 4 of them, so feeling really rather nice and very feel good down here. I don't want to leave, I like it very much. So let's pick you up again once more, and we'll take a walk up forward. So this is as far as we can go forward, and you're in the forward cabin, and as you can see, loads of headroom in here again. Not hardly a stoop for me to get through here, which there normally is on most boats when you're going into the forward cabin. Really nice area. You don't have a double V, but you've got single beds, but that may be advantageous because you've got full length beds. They're really nice and wide. We've got storage underneath as well. We've got 2 portholes and a hatch, so loads of light flooding in. We can let air in through the hatch if we want to, and both hatches on this boat, one in the aft cabin and this one, come with a blind as well, so it could be nice and dark in here if you had curtains or covers on these 2 windows, that is. In general, feeling rather nice, and Southerly being Southerly, they've really thought about things, and they've stored the infill for the double berth in the saloon up here, and the extra part of the table, so there's another leaf that fits onto the table here, just slides on. That's stored away just underneath the infill here, so a nice tailored, well made, heavyweight storage for that, and that's what we've come to know and expect from Southerly, which is great. In this case as well, we've got some lovely cockpit cushions, always recommended if you're on a yacht at sea, because yes, you'll be more comfortable as well, but it really gives you some insulation against the cold as well if you're sitting outside in the cold and wet. Tip number 1 from Tim. There we go. Right then, let's pick you up, and we're going to go from all the way as far forward as you can get on this boat to all the way as far aft as we can get on this boat. But before we do get there, I just duck down into this passageway here. I'll just place you there, and they've made really nice use of this passageway. So while the height isn't great, so I'd say probably 5'6", 5'7", when you close this door, you've got your own private head. So we've got a manual head here, little sink, somewhere for your towels or your toothpaste, etc. there, and generally a bit of an ensuite accommodation. So we close this door and we've got the aft accommodation. You can get away from all those annoying people you don't want to be with. But the other benefit is, well, we have an opening window here, and if we just open this cupboard here, if you can see, hopefully, these really heavyweight covers stuffed with sound insulation, I think gives us access to the engine. So access to the port side, the top, the aft and the stern gear as well, so really nice. The only downside being that these are really heavy, which is great because it means that they do what they say on the tin, but they are heavy, so that means possibly checking your engine in a seaway by taking those down. You have to be really careful they don't go flying about. So let's take you into the aft cabin for the final part of the tour. We'll plonk you on the double berth there, and there we go. You're in the aft cabin of this Southerly 115. Headroom, great. About 6 feet there, I think. Much more than you normally get in a boat this size. Feels lovely in here. There's plenty of room. We've got shelf. We've got a nice berth here, or a nice sofa to either sleep or sit here and get yourself ready for that evening out. We've got nice lockers above the berth there. Really lovely, long, wide double berth, which is fiddled as well, so you're not going to go anywhere. And somebody mysteriously opened a cupboard over there for me, but we do have a nice cupboard here. Lots of room in there. Let's close that. Nice vanity unit, and 4 drawers underneath too. And it just feels like a really nice, spacious, luxurious area that's separate from the accommodation up there in the forward area. But yeah, it feels lovely. Lots of windows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 windows, and a hatch with a blind on it too, so really lovely. So that completes this tour of this Southerly 115 from 1990. Hope you've enjoyed having a look round in virtual reality. I hope you feel like you know this boat even though you haven't been here, but above all we hope you just enjoyed having a look round a really nice boat. So do join us elsewhere for more reviews or more tours of boats. and we hope to see you again soon. Thanks for watching, take care, have a great day.